Third place. Potosi, Bolivia. Height, 4,090 meters above sea level. Another one of the highest cities in the world is also located in Bolivia. Potosi is situated at an altitude of 4,090 meters, at the foot of Mount Cerro de Potosi, the top of which reaches 4,824 meters. The city looks ancient and small, with narrow streets, tiled roofs and cracked plaster on the walls of houses built in the colonial style. But this is only a first impression. If you pay attention to the inscription on the city's first coat of arms, you'll see the words, "Treasure of the World." The huge deposits of silver ore, that's what made here the desire to enrich thousands. The city was founded in 1545 and soon rose to fame as the richest city in Spanish America. The main source of wealth was the Cerro de Potosi mountain. According to local legend, it is made entirely of silver. The silver ore found here would have been enough to keep a small country afloat for many years, but the ore began to run out by the 19th century, and the town fell into disrepair. Today, a glimpse of its former glory can be found at the Casa de la Moneda de Bolivia, National Mint of Bolivia. The building is a UNESCO heritage site, as is the entire old center of the city. Here you can find out how the ore was mined, admire the jewelry, weapons, and coins made of Potosi silver. And, of course, you can't go to Potosi without visiting the mines of the Cerro de Potosi mountain. The mines are still in operation, so you can see the harsh working conditions of the workers and see the statue of the local deity Alto, who, according to legend, guards the underground bowels. Second place. El Alto, Bolivia. Height, 4,150 meters above sea level. The development of the railroad played a decisive role in the establishment of this Bolivian city, 4,150 meters above sea level. When the construction of the railroad began in the country, El Alto was on the way from the city of La Paz to Lake Titicaca, where the workers and their families lived. It happened in 1905, and by the middle of the 20th century El Alto had become a major industrial center. Today, it is a fast-growing city with more than 1 million inhabitants. In the suburbs is located one of the highest airports in the world, Aeropuerto Internacional El Alto. The city is interesting for those who want to experience life in real, non-tourist Bolivia. The large shopping centers in the heart of the city border on the slums of the poor. El Alto, like many Latin American cities, is a city of contrasts. The Aymara Indians have long lived here. You can meet representatives of these people in their national costumes and get acquainted with their traditional way of life on the streets. Until 1985, El Alto was considered part of the city of La Paz, to which it adjoins on the west. La Paz is interesting because it is the seat of all Bolivian institutions and because of its colonial-era architecture. It is also home to the central bus station, Terminal de Buses, designed by Eiffel, the creator of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. First place. La Rinconada, Peru. Height, 5,099 meters above sea level. In the amazing country of Peru, which consists of mountain peaks descending to the Pacific Ocean, at an altitude of 5,099 meters above sea level, literally on a glacier, the highest mountain city in South America and the world, La Rinconada, is located. The climate here is appropriate. The usual temperature is a few degrees above zero. It is difficult to get here. The harsh climate, lack of oxygen and dangerous mountain trails are not conducive to tourism. However, the city cannot be called deserted. On the contrary, adventurers from all over Peru come here all the time, because La Rinconada is located on the site of gold deposits. The city arose on the basis of the mining town. Work on the extraction of gold ore are carried out to this day. Here you will not find extensive infrastructure, it simply does not exist, and electricity to the village had just recently, in 2009. There are no bars, restaurants, hotels, or architectural beauty. Residents of the town, the hard laborers who work for nothing in the mines, day in and day out. The environmental situation in the vicinity of the city also leaves much to be desired. For the extraction of precious metal, use explosives that poison the air. At such a height it is difficult to breathe at first sight, and the lack of oxygen quickly makes you tired. However, a visit to this town is interesting because of the human stories and the life of the gold miners, which has not changed much since the beginning of the 20th century, the time when the gold mine was discovered here.